y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk of the Ring show. It's your girl, Harley, and I'm not going to keep you. We're going to hop right into this episode. I hope you all are having a fantastic Wednesday. I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday. But our guest for today, he's a New York wrestling star. Let's give him a warm welcome, and his name is Blockz.
Hey, Blockz is in the building.
Right?
The party has just started.
Right? How are you
today? Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Appreciate that.
Of course. So how are you today on this fine Wednesday?
I'm doing pretty good. Working, just dropped a new promo hype video for one of my next events coming up. So that's great. After everybody's done here, you could go check that out. It literally dropped maybe 20 seconds ago. So that's great.
It was so funny. Me and you were speaking right before the episode about like everything, and it's funny we were bringing up Buddy Thomas because you guys wrestle quite a bit together. You're always together, and obviously Buddy Thomas is gonna be in the chat because he's just. I told you, like watch. He'll be here. He'll be coming on with his shit, saying a bunch of different stuff. That's just him.
I apologize. I don't know if you can hear that, but literally, I said my promo just went off, and then people are trying to call like this is crazy. We got Buddy in here, like Harley. This is already starting off to be a good show for us.
Right, and my dad, he's always in. My dad is my hype man. He's cheering.
Hey, is that dad right there?
Yep, that's my dad.
That's awesome. What's going on, Dad?
So that's another thing we were bringing up. We were talking about that you were going to be at a show upcoming.
Yes.
I don't know if it's announced yet, but maybe.
It's definitely put out there, the poster. A lot of people don't know that I'm going to be on the show yet because my opponent hasn't been announced. But May 13th, we're going to be at High Grounds. I'm going to be at High Grounds Wrestling. It's going to be my debut in Pennsylvania for the first time ever wrestling out there. So that's going to be quite something. I can't wait.
No, yeah. I mean, I've seen the pictures. I've seen the posters. So I think that's going to be a good show. I might have to be like, sorry, I got the little Rona for the day. I can't come into work. I'm sorry.
I mean, hey, you and Dad come see, right? I would love.
Yeah, me and my dad, we're just.
It's been a while.
Exactly, yeah. Me and my dad will be like, yeah, we're sick. I can't come into work. I'm sorry. And we'll be like, later that night, we'll just be at a wrestling show. It's fine.
Just do whatever you do. Just don't look on my social media until next week. You'll forget all about tomorrow next week.
Right? I'll be like, okay, hold on. Let me check it next week and be like, yeah, I can't come in. I'm sick. No, but usually the first question we would ask is who or what got you into wrestling?
So my grandfather got me into professional wrestling. Now, I don't have anybody in my family who actually has been a professional wrestler. They've just been all fans all their life. Now, my grandfather was in love with the spectacular entertainment of WWF back then. So the first match I ever remember watching, and this is maybe 4 years old. I might have been 3 or 4 years old, but SummerSlam 1994. Yes, I'm an old guy. Undertaker versus Undertaker. Sitting there watching that with him was probably, as you can tell, can remember all these years later. So it had an impact on my life. But seeing the entertainment part of it where you have two guys who's supposed to be the same guy and making someone like me believe that those were the same guys fighting. How could this be? Two strong powers led by two different guys, the good Undertaker versus the bad Undertaker. The storyline was amazing. The match delivered. It hooked me from there. And then I fell in love with it ever since. So my grandfather was the guy who got me into it. And to this day, I appreciate and love him for that. And I always hold that bond with him.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And like my dad, he says in the chat, he says, I'm a New Yorker for life, born and raised.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I was from PA, so.
Hey, that's fine. Usually, it's funny because usually when you're from New York, whenever you want to get out, PA or Florida are the good places to go. So
That's why I was saying, I'm like, I want to get to a New York show. I mean, and to boo Buddy Thomas since he was in the chat, be like, you know what, you suck.
Oh my God.
It's a
Buddy's
huge
hated everywhere. Buddy's hated everywhere. So you'll fit right in with the New York crowd. I think you
exactly.
would love it a little bit more because
Yeah.
the New York crowds are a little bit more aggressive. So they get really into it with their Buddy sucks chants.
Man, I've seen it on his Instagram. It's always so funny. Like we were saying about Ricky Price and him, that whole thing was hilarious.
Yes, Ricky and his feud, and it's still going on. I mean, I had a match against him for his viral title. Ricky had a couple matches against him for his viral title. Who knows? Maybe there's a triple threat in there somewhere. Maybe there's another title shot. Buddy's days are numbered, though.
You know, one day he talks a lot of shit, so maybe one day he'll just be like, he said when he came on the podcast, he was like, "Oh, I'm the viral champion. I'm the viral. I want this and that." Like, bro, you have too much positive hope. Someone needs to knock that down. Like,
I
I'm sorry.
mean, hater love the guy. He's on a tear right now. I mean,
Yeah.
he's done. Not to go off subject from myself, but he's done something. I'll give him a shout out right now. He's done something in 2 years in this business that a lot of guys don't. He's already at 161 matches for his career. Like that's amazing in 2 years. I mean, and it's not like one of those guys who just show up to shows and don't go
Yeah.
to training. That dude is at training. He's at shows. He works. I don't like him very much, but he's a hard worker. So he's got a couple championships now for a reason. I'm gonna take him, but
he must be doing something right, I guess.
yeah. So that little cockiness is. I may have to knock it off.
Yeah.
He's on a high right now, so I'll give it to him.
No, yeah, definitely. So then, with that being said, who trained you?
I trained at the same school as Buddy, actually, ECPW for Gino Caruso. He took me in. I don't think when I first got there, everybody really believed in me. Because pro wrestling, it's a tight bond, a tight community. You know what I mean? So someone that never had a background in this, someone who's never been around it, just walking through the door, no experience other than I've been athletic all my life, done basketball, football, baseball, played every sport. I just never, the school I went to never had wrestling. So I never got into it. So, I felt in the beginning it was a test to show that this is something that I loved and wanted to do. Buddy and me actually clicked right away. That's my guy. I hate to love him. I'm gonna kick his ass. He'll kick my ass, but we clicked right away from the beginning. Him and his dad, like, they give me a lot of advice when I first came into the business, what to expect, what to learn from, what to do, what guys to speak to, and then paying attention to Gino, going with the basics, learning how to tell a story. It was great. I mean, and here we are now. I mean, I'm doing my thing. And I've been 8 months later, and I'm doing my thing out here. So it's great, making a little bit of a ruckus on the scene.
Exactly. You just got to get some gold, maybe steal it from Buddy, but.
Oh, that's definitely in the works. I got that planned. A few different promotions. I got a few different eyes on a few different titles. So.
Maybe you got to make your way to PPW in Pennsylvania.
You never know. I may reach out to them, or let me say not may, because I definitely want to. So you may see Blockz and PPW one day. That'd be amazing. You never know. You never know where the block party's gonna show up nowadays.
No, definitely. And I gotta ask, how did that become a thing? Like Blockz, and I think in the clip you had like a block thing that you hit Buddy Thomas with. So
yeah, he hit me with it. Can you believe that? I got hit with my own gimmick. That's crazy.
So
yeah, he made a brass knuckles out of Legos and knocked me out with it to keep his title. That was crazy. Clever kid. He's a clever kid. I'm telling you, he keeps his title by any means necessary. That son of a gun.
I mean, I guess would be nice, but like. That's not really my thing. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. You know I'm a nice person, but to Buddy Thomas, there's this thing, like a hate thing.
Hey, I understand. It's like You may be nice, but you're too much of a douche.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, but the name Blockz. All right, so Blockz has just been back to my sports days. I was always the small guy that always wanted to jump with the giants, so to speak, and I was fortunate enough, I should say, to be athletic to be able to jump with guys 6'5", 6'6", even some guys 7 feet tall. So the name Blocks came from my interceptions, blocking receivers from getting the ball, blocking shots from basketball. It just stuck. Everybody who I played with always was the same group of guys. So they were like, you know what? It's hard when it's too difficult when we're playing against you. You're such a great defender. Like you block everything. And I was like, I like that. I block every blocks. That's it. And they just went from there. So it was easy. The first day I showed up, they said, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm Blocks," and they looked at me and they said, "What the hell? Like a Lego block?" And I was like, "No, like Blocks, like the guy you looking at."
I mean, it's different. And I mean, the block
Exactly.
is kind of clever,
It is. It's a great merch seller too. You know what I mean?
right? You just got a
Kids
little
love Blocks.
exactly.
Exactly. Everybody loves Legos. Like, come on, I got to partner up with Lego. I got to get sponsored by Lego here someday.
Right? Like there's wrestlers sponsored by Bang and all those other energy drinks. Now we just got to get you. Everyone's got to send an email to Lego and be like, there's this wrestler. His name's Block. You got to get him sponsored. He'll come out with a big Lego block and just hit people with it. It's fine.
I make appearances at Legoland and everything. Like, you can have a show at Legoland.
You'll have your own little model figure. It's fine. You know?
Perfect. We'll have your setup over there so you could do commentary for the live first ever Blocks Legoland show.
Exactly. That'll be cool.
Yes.
My dad's like, next time you got to block Buddy Thomas from keeping that title.
Dad, I know. It's in the works. I'll tell you, the next time he ain't gonna be so lucky. The next time he's not gonna be so lucky.
Sorry, not sorry, Buddy Thomas. We hating on you too.
Next time I come on this show, I'm gonna have that viral title right here.
Exactly.
Like, look, Buddy's in the chat now crying.
Or we'll have Buddy under there and then you right there. I'll be like, so guys, they better feud it out. Buddy lost. Now he's crying.
There you go. Have a handicap match on the podcast. Us versus Buddy.
Exactly. Perfect. With words, but it's okay.
Exactly.
So you said who you trained with. How long would you say like you trained before you actually got your first match?
So I started my training in February of 2022. And I debuted August 14th of the same year of 2022. So it was roughly 6 months into training. I got my first match, which is crazy. I mean, that's pretty quick.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it's been a roller coaster. I've been training relentlessly. It's definitely tiring sometimes because it's like so much training and so many shows that it's like, all right, my body's sore. I need a break. But it's like, I love this so much. I can't. Back to training, back to shows.
You're like, stop your whining, get your ass back in training. Let's go. Chop, chop.
Yeah. It's definitely something that I love. If you don't love professional wrestling, then you're just not going to give it your all. So like I live, breathe this business. So I love to get to more trainings. Coming from upstate to go to Jersey is quite expensive with gas and tolls. So I can't get there as much as possible, but I try my best to get at least twice a week. I'm doing once a week right now, but I try twice a week. But every weekend, I'm at a show. So it's great.
Definitely.
Doing something good, I guess.
Exactly, right? No, yeah. My dad got me introduced to PPW actually when I was only like 6 years old. So we've been going it for like 9 to 10 years now. And so like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be a wrestler one day. And then afterwards, I'm like, they're going to take a lot of bumps. I think I'm going to stick my behind on the outside and be a manager because I'll have to take maybe a bump or two, but not like all those crazy bumps you guys be doing.
Okay, well, hey, managers could be look at Paul Heyman, look at Miss Elizabeth, look at freaking so many managers in the past that have done amazing. Look at Rhea Ripley. She's a wrestler, but look when she's out there as a manager, managers definitely can control the aspect of a storyline as well. So that's a big part of wrestling.
No, definitely. I was gonna say, first of all, Paul Heyman, he's like halfway bald. I'm not bald. But Rhea Ripley, on the other hand, I love Rhea Ripley. She
Oh,
might be.
she's great. Rhea's great. I think this whole thing that she's going with has been phenomenal. It's been
No,
probably the most fun she's probably had in wrestling. I would say. I mean, I would think so. At least this run that she's on. Yeah, that's a great thing for her right now.
no, definitely. I mean, she started in NXT and now she worked her way up, so she deserves it. She's been doing it a while.
Absolutely, and she was on the indie scene before then.
Exactly.
So I think what can't remember what indie shows, but she's done a couple of indie shows back in her day. So she's on the same. We're on the same journey. I'm
Yep.
looking to get. I'm looking. I mean, we all are trying to get to that spot.
No, yeah. I mean, in the chat, there's kind of some beef going down. Buddy Thomas goes, I'm not losing that belt till I'm signed.
Yeah, but he thinks that.
And my dad goes and says, you're signed, Buddy Thomas, to ass kick o'clock. LOL.
I love that.
Everybody to keep the time is almost up.
Oh man, next time I go against Buddy Dad, I'm wearing a personalized shirt that says it's time. What is that? Ass kick o'clock.
Ass kick o'clock. Yep. We're gonna get that a t-shirt. Be like, sorry, buddy. I mean, that's kind of how it is. We had Playboy Polly on, and we did the same thing. That was when Sabrina was on here with me. But we would smash like Buddy Thomas. We'd be like, yo, this dude, nah, he got some problems, but it's okay. And I mean, but Playboy Polly, he was like, yo, I'm gonna beat Buddy Thomas in views. What did he do? He beat him. So now,
so now let's see. The block party got to be both Buddy Thomas and Playboy Paulie. Let's go. Right? I love the challenge. Look, not only am I gonna beat their views, but I'm gonna take Buddy's title too. Look at that. Calling my shot.
Be like, sorry, buddy, but some stuff is about to happen. It's okay to throw a tantrum. It's okay.
Don't worry, buddy. When I see you backstage, I'll give you a hug before I take your title.
He'd be like, I love you so much. And then next you beat in his eyes, be like, nah, you lost the title now.
Now it's mine. Next time I'm gonna hit him with a block of Legos.
Exactly. So your character right now, you seem like a genuinely nice person. Would you say your character is a heel or a babyface?
That's a tough question, to be honest. I don't see myself as either. I feel like I go out there and I just show what I can do. I'm not there for cheers. I mean, everybody loves the cheers. You know what I mean? Of course. Yeah, I'm there to put on a show for everybody. I'm there. I'm there. Like, you're going to know that when I come out, something special is about to happen. That you're going to get that same feeling that you feel. I'm making a big statement right now, but you're going to get that same feeling you feel when you see Roman Reigns come out, when you see a PJ Savage come out, when you see these main event guys come out. So getting the cheers of the fans as a babyface is great. I mean, I get that a lot at these shows because a lot of people just love my character and my my gear. Everybody loves my gear for some reason. I just wear everything on my sleeve. Like, what you see with me is what you get. Like, I'm not an asshole, but I'm a nice guy, but I could be an asshole if you put me to that limit.
Exactly.
So like, it's just pretty much a street fighting machine that wants to win gold.
Yeah, exactly. You got to do what you got to in the business.
No, yeah, absolutely. Like I'm all for fighting fair. You know what I mean? That's of course. Yeah. But I can get dirty if I have to, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, should I use a steel chair to win this match? Like, nah, if I need to use a steel chair to knock somebody to get them out, like Buddy did me. But the only thing is, Buddy just don't like nobody. I just love everybody.
Yeah, Buddy, he loves himself.
It's like, yeah, what you were gonna say. I want to hear what you were gonna say.
No, on the topic of that, another question we would ask is like, is there anything you do before you come out the curtain?
Yes, I hype myself up. I talk to myself. I say a prayer to make sure that I'm safe out there. The crowd goes home happy. They love the show, what I'm about to do. I start making a little bit of a weird I don't know if I get into my ancestors back, they come into me, but I get into a little bit of a just put myself up. I don't know if it's just back to football days or something, but it's just something that just wakes up the fire in me to say it's time to put on a show. It's time to go out there and work my way up to the main event.
No,
Every promotion I'm going to, I'm with this year, with every promotion, I'm going to main event every single one day.
Exactly.
I've done a couple. I know. I'm sorry. I'm coming off cocky, but
no,
you have a great platform, and I'm utilizing your platform. I'm calling shots.
That is fine with me. I mean, that's good that you a lot of different wrestlers say like they get hyped up, they do a workout, they drink energy drinks, they hit the vape. But Buddy Thomas had to come in with his response and be like, I talk to a mirror and I do this. And I'm like, bro, there's no need to be that cocky. Like, if you talk to a mirror, are you a Disney princess? Because that's what they do.
That's Ken. You didn't know? That's Ken from Barbie and Ken. That's Ken. He's back there talking himself to a mirror, fixing his hair, making sure his glasses is on perfect. And I'm in the corner, hyping myself up, just growling at myself.
Whatever you guys got to do, I'm all for it. But talking to a mirror.
No, yeah. That's a little too much. Yeah.
It's a little crazy. But so in the chat, my Buddy Thomas goes and says, ass kick Blockz. No.
Buddy, we have one. We're gonna have another one-on-one soon. So, we're gonna see. We're gonna see the outcome of that one, buddy.
Exactly.
He's got one on me, so that's why he's talking a lot right now, because he does have a win on me, but he had to cheat and it wasn't easy.
So he didn't. He won by getting help in a way. So he didn't win by himself.
He won by any means necessary, which I respected, because as a champion, I mean, there's champion's advantage no matter what. If he even got caught, guess what? He's still the champion. So I would have won, but still the champion. So he took his shot. At this time, he didn't get caught by the refs. Next time, I'm gonna make sure he's not gonna do that. I'll be more smarter next time.
Yep. Be like, not today.
Exactly. I'm still green in the business, so I'm still learning. The tricks up these older guys in the business's sleeve. They have a bunch of tricks that I'm not used to.
Yeah, you take it step by step.
Exactly.
My dad says, nah, it's ass kick o'clock for the wannabe beautiful to kick to the dirt. Nah.
Hey, goodbye. Yes.
Oh my God. And that's another thing, like, popular in Pennsylvania. Like you said, in New York, you guys are aggressive, which my dad, he gets crazy, like, with video games. But that's that. But us Pennsylvanians, I would say we're awfully loud. Like, if I end up going to that show because got sick, it's fine. But you'll hear me. Like, everyone in Pennsylvania knows, like, I am a loud, crazy ass person. Like, I'll have the posters, I'll be screaming. You're like, yep, that's her. She didn't seem that way. That's her.
That's dope. That's gonna be great. That's gonna be great. Hopefully, I mean, I'm not, I hope you're okay that day, but I hope to also see you that day. If that
right. I got a fever.
Oh,
my coworkers may watch us. I got a fever. I'm so can't come in.
It's starting up now. It may break on May 14th. May 13th, though, she definitely may not feel good.
Yeah, like I'll be fine on May 14th, but May 13th, I'll probably
24-hour virus, I think.
Right? I'll be fine.
I'm good. I'm good with telling the future. So just like I know I'm gonna take Buddy's title, I see May 13th-ish, you may get a little ill.
Yeah, a little ill.
You're recovering the nighttime, though. You know what I mean? You'll recover like around midnight. You'll be fine. So you'll be able to work the next day.
Exactly. I'll be there bright and early at 8 a.m. It's fine.
Perfect.
So what would you say is your favorite part about wrestling?
Probably meeting fans, to be honest. To know, even though my gimmick, I don't really specify myself or as a face or a heel. I still love meeting fans. They pay good money to see us. Sometimes it's the only type of wrestling shows they can see. So it's great to meet a group of kids that want your autograph. To see people taking pictures, posting it online, messaging you, telling you stories of how much they like you as a wrestler. it's a different feel than what I'm used to. But it's definitely awesome. The fans, I connect very well with the fans. So for someone, I guess I would say maybe face, because I guess since for
Yeah,
someone who doesn't care about how he's perceived in wrestling, I really like interacting with the crowd. Like every intermission you see me, I'm out there, I'm dancing with, I'm having a great time with the crowd. I'm fooling around, running around, playing tag with kids. Like I'm just out there having a blast because I love doing this.
exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like me and Sabrina's thing. Well, when she was involved, a thing that we used to do, and like I continue to do it obviously at these shows. I'll have a table and like we'll do free poster making. So there's always a bunch of different kids. So I think that'll be like up your alley. They're
No,
very helpful too. I don't know what their parents be feeding them, but they'll be loud. I'm like,
I know. I just did a show on Saturday in Manchester, New Jersey, and it winded up ending in a disqualification. And right before I went out, because it's so intense with this rivalry I'm having with this a group called the Deadly Sins, that the promoter came up to me and he said, "Listen, I know you guys have beef, but there's kids out there, so no cursing. Like, be respectful. There's a lot of kids." And I was like, "Listen, we have hatred for each other. We're gonna go out there and go to war. I can't promise anything, but I'll do my best, you know." And I will say I didn't curse, which is great because I don't like to curse. It was more so because of the hatred that I have for my opponents.
yeah.
Because I'm not that type of wrestler that curses. That's not in my style at all. But these kids were cursing up a storm out there, and I was like, they're worried about what I'm gonna say. My God. You
My
had kids lifting up their shirts at one of the wrestlers, flashing like it was funny because the wrestler was wearing no shirt and he picked up his shirt and said, "Look, this is you." I was like, "Wow, these kids are ruthless."
I mean, and that's another thing out here. Us Pennsylvanians, it's not me, but there's a show that we go to. There's like a group of these people, like they'll be throwing tampons at wrestlers. I'm like, yo, you're
That's
taking them. First of all, you're taking them from females that could actually use them. And at other shows, like they'll be having signs that says like pussy and shit. I'm like, yo, there's kids here. First of all, like you,
that's
I don't.
wild.
But
I
these
mean,
are violent.
yeah, I think I'm like wrestling in Pennsylvania. I think
I
this
mean,
is some hardcore fans. I think they're gonna give New York fans a run for their money.
yeah. I mean, and there was a show at Battlefield Pro Wrestling that it was
Oh,
PW, I think at one point where it was fans bring the weapons, which
I've seen
wasn't
that. I think,
effective.
if I'm not mistaken, they live that one, and I was watching. If I'm not mistaken,
I believe, sure, yeah.
because I know the last couple ones they've been doing live, and I think I seen that one where the fans had the weapon. I was like, "Yo, that is crazy idea right there.
Because
That is wild."
I brought a stop sign, but that was cool. Fine, a stop sign's it's age appropriate, but there was someone that brought a dildo. I was like, yo, there's little kids here.
Maybe.
Can you imagine? They'll be like, Mom, what's that? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you
And
got some explaining to do to your children.
you're like, you're only like 5 years old, but I guess you're gonna have the talk quite a bit early now. It's fine.
Oh man, go to a wrestling show and get your child scarred for life, and you think you're going to family friend. Hey, only that's why I love this business. You never know what you're showing up to.
No, exactly. That's what I'm telling you. That's why I want to go to a New York show. Be like, okay, this is the difference between them. But giving you a warning, us Pennsylvanians, we're a little crazy.
That's great. I love that. I live upstate New York, so I'm about an hour away from, I want to say, Scranton. So I'm not too far. I'm not too far out. I mean, that's just the line, but
Not too bad. So you said your favorite part. What would you say is like your personal like hardest part about wrestling? Whether it's the moves, the drive, whatever.
the hardest part is being away sometimes from my family, to be honest. I'm 34, so I'm not young in this business. I do have children and a wife, you know?
Hmm.
Like, being wrestling is it's time consuming. It takes away from being able to see my kids do something sometimes. I'm luckily enough where I haven't missed a birthday yet, and I don't plan on it. I always promise that to myself. Where, I mean, if I get to WWE and AEW, I mean, my of course my kids are gonna be understanding. You're on the road 300 days out the year, so you're
Yeah.
gonna miss a birthday or something. Thank God to this day they still haven't had a birthday on and an event on the same day as my kids. I always make sure of that because I never want to be away from something like that. But just little things, being able to be around them all the time when I'm wrestling. Some shows I'm gone from literally 8 o'clock in the morning. I have to be there till ring breakdown. I usually stay to ring breakdown, which is out of there by 11 o'clock at night. And usually it takes me 3.5 hours each way to drive. So sometimes it's like I'm leaving and everybody's sleeping. I'm getting home and everybody's sleeping. So it's definitely, that's probably the toughest for me to miss time with my family.
No, yeah, and that's like usually the typical answer. And like with you saying that you have kids, if they came up to you and was like, "I want to get involved and do exactly what you're doing," would you be like, "Yeah, go for it," or be like, I wouldn't suggest it, but like you do you. I'll support you either way.
I already had to talk with my youngest son because he loves helping with ring breakdown, and his dream match is me versus him one day. So I guess one day, he's gonna, for all the times he's gotten grounded, he wants to wrestle me one day. So that's great. But he's starting to get a passion for it. I wouldn't necessarily say that he loves it right now, but he's starting to get more involved and getting more love for the storyline of it. If any of my sons wanted to join, absolutely. I love this business. I know the safety concerns that some parents have with it and all of that, but this business is safe when done right and done smartly. Everything is done 100% safely. So heck yeah, I would love for it to be a tag team with him one day. Who knows? Face him one day. That'd be great.
Maybe that'll be you guys. Maybe it'll be Blockz and his son versus Playboy Polly and Buddy Thomas. Be like, yeah,
exactly.
maybe you, like he's gonna kick your ass.
Exactly. I'm just gonna put him in. He's gonna be the youngest one out of all of us, so he's just gonna be tagged in, and he's doing all the work on all of them, and then I'll just come in for the pin.
Yeah, he'll still do the pin, and be like, yeah, he can do all the work. It's fine.
Just so we could come back on this podcast and say, "Look, buddy, I got the pin on you too."
No, yeah, definitely. Be like, at least somebody got it. Like, even if one day, if I become a manager, I'll manage your son, and you guys will be like, yeah, hold on, we'll all just get on top of Buddy Thomas. So we'll be like, yeah, I pinned Buddy Thomas. Like, look at that.
There you go. That sounds like a plan.
Right? It'll be such an achievement for me. Like, it says Blockz and Pebble. First of all, you spelled his name wrong. It's with a Z, dumbass. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, dummy. He should know out of everybody. He's always making fun of the Z.
Exactly. Like, he's always like, oh, you spelled this wrong. You did that wrong. Why'd you post this? Why'd you post that? Well, now you're going to get credited. Like, that's wrong. You spelled his name wrong. How can you do that?
Should know better, buddy.
No, yeah. So if AEW called and WWE, which one would you take? Like, because you were saying if you ever got signed.
I mean, if AEW and WWE call, first thing I'm doing is crying. That's going to be the first thing because that would be amazing. But if I had the choice, to be honest, WWE. I mean, I love AEW's product. I feel like that's probably more my character's style anyway. Would be AEW, but with the history and everything with WWE, I mean, just to get a run there would be amazing. I don't feel like they've ever had a superstar like myself there. There's been so many different types of styles in WWE. My character is definitely different. So hopefully that will get me there one day. So yeah, definitely WWE. I mean, that's to be honest, if any professional wrestler says they don't want to wrestle for WWE, then they're, to be honest, absolutely out of their mind, whether you hate them or not. There's no bigger company in the world than WWE. You know what I mean? They travel all over the world. AEW hopefully will get there one day.
Yeah.
And if I have a run at WWE, don't say that I'm ever going to not be in AEW. So I definitely look forward to being in all of them. Ring of Honor, New Japan.
Right? You got some goals. And I mean, that's usually the typical answer. They'll be like, whatever want. Like, in most cases, people are like, oh, it depends on the pay or this or like, I mean, wherever you, like, there's usually a storyline like, okay, I've grown up watching this. And like that typically is WWE because they've been around longer while AEW is quite not new, but like they're still getting their hang of the whole wrestling thing.
Well, with me, it's I know it sounds stupid, but I don't necessarily do this for the money. You know what I mean? Like it's great. It's great to get the payday. That's amazing. But I think if they called both today and they said, "Hey, an AEW offered more money and it wasn't crazy amount, much more than WWE," I think I'll take the pay cut. I mean, again, it's WWE. I'm getting to the main. If I get into WWE, I'm getting to that main event. Just like everywhere else that I'm involved with. That's just my mindset. You know, I don't look to be a mid card guy because I bust my ass to get here. So what the hell? I'm main event.
No, yeah, exactly. And like that's what I've been saying. Like I've been involved with like PPW like as a fan, but like now getting older, I can like start doing more things like interviews and doing the table. And it's like if I think like if I ever wanted to actually become a manager or even like a wrestler, I already have my foot in the door. So it's like
I think you're doing pretty good at it. I mean, just speaking with you now, you're doing pretty good. And the great thing to a manager is the mouthpiece. You know what I mean? And you hosting a podcast is great because you're used to talking to people. You're not someone who doesn't seem to be in a show where you seem to come up. You don't seem to come off fire. I think you'd be a good manager.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Next time I face Buddy, you're gonna be the manager because you're gonna be the distraction. You're gonna be the distraction.
Like me and a buddy will just be arguing. You'll come and hit him with the block, and that'll be it.
Exactly. 1, 2, 3, bang.
Run out of there. Be like, sorry, buddy, you lost the title. Maybe you should have been arguing with her.
Exactly. Go talk to yourself in the mirror backstage again.
Right. Maybe your mirror will give you some motivation to try to get it back.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
So my dad has a question. He goes and says, what if you got called from Impact, Ring of Honor, or New Japan? Out of those three, like if you had to choose. They were all for the same day. Which one would you choose?
I would probably choose the... Wow, that's a tough... Now, that's a really good one. Thanks, Dad. That's a good one. I would probably say, as of now... New Japan Pro Wrestling, because my style, like theirs, is unorthodox because I am a lefty, so I think I would fit in really well there. They bring in New Japan a toughness that I've heard from many superstars who's wrestled over there, that when they speak of New Japan, it's like, nah, I'm okay wrestling in America because they're that strong style is serious. They're not lying when they talk about strong style, the type of wrestling. And I think that would be a phenomenal thing to learn and to gain some experience there. There's so many freaking phenomenal wrestlers that's in New Japan that I would love to wrestle one day. I mean, Okada's over there. That would be a dream match that I would have. I think big, like.
No, yeah. I mean, and like you were saying, like how I'm a good talker. I mean, I'm surprised like how well I'm talking because like with Buddy Thomas, okay, that's fine. Was arguing with him. Typically, I'm not like it used to be me and Sabrina. We would go back and forth. But like now since it's just me, I was not that great at first, but now I'm like getting the hang of it. It's like you gotta come in here and act like you run this shit. Like I do run the shit, especially here.
Exactly. There you go. It's like I've been doing this for 8 months. No, 9 months now. I just made 9 months this past weekend in the professional wrestling business in general. And when I walk into a locker room, the one thing that someone told me was when you walk into a locker room, walk in that locker room and command the respect of everybody in that locker room. And as a rookie, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
That is, you got to earn respect of everybody. And when I came in, I think everybody seen how hard I busted my ass, that I earned that respect from a lot of guys quick. And everybody knew once they got to know me and got to realize and understand how much I love this business, that I'm actually here and I'm a nice guy. And I like I said, I love everybody, but I'm here to take somebody's spot at the end of the day. I'm here to take that title spot. So if you're in the way of getting that title shot, I'm here to take your spot at the end of the day. So when I walk in, everybody knows, all right, Blockz is here. It's go time. I get, I go out there and I put on a show. You'll see one day. Hopefully you'll see one day. I leave it all out there. Everybody says, oh, this is not WrestleMania. don't have a WrestleMania match. I don't have a WrestleMania matches. I'm not at WrestleMania yet. When I have my WrestleMania match, holy shit, that's gonna be a good one. But but these shows that I go to is I don't know if I'm gonna be doing this tomorrow, so I'm leaving it all out there. I want to try anything and everything that I can possibly. My last show I just did a crossbody from the top rope to the outside. Wild, but hey, it worked. I'm alive.
That's what I say. Like, you guys, you can continue to put in that work and you can do those crazy ass moves, but me, I'll be on the outside. Be like, yeah, cheering for you until I'm old enough to actually get involved. And I think that's like another thing. Like, when you're fresh in the business or like you're younger or even like being a female, it's like harder because people like see you as less or don't see you as equal to them. So that's why like you gotta go in there and act like you run this bitch. You gotta be like, yep,
Absolutely.
I'm here. I put in the work. And like that's what me like. I've been a big thing about me is like I'm loud and I'm a gift giver. So like with wrestling, I'll be giving gifts, I'll be making posters. So like I'm busting my ass off. Like even on here, like I'm always the rest of May is booked. June is like halfway there. So it's like putting in that work makes it even better for you. Like if I get involved with PPW and be a manager, there you go.
All right, hey, you never know. You could introduce me for the first time there.
Right? I mean, hopefully you're there before then. I still got like a little bit of time, but
oh, okay. Maybe. Well, then I'll be like, hey, look who I'm bringing to the block party.
Right? Have you introduced me? Or like another one, like a question we would usually say with me and Sabrina is like, who can we see you facing? And someone that I absolutely adore, his name is Rembrandt. I can 100% see you guys having a match because like his vibe, I know him in wrestling and then outside of wrestling, his character, he's a badass in there. But you and like I've seen your clips, you're pretty badass too, and like you'll go in there and do what you got to. So I think that'll be a good match.
Well, if any promoters listening, hit me up. Book it. Somebody book it. I think that would be phenomenal myself. I would love that. Definitely respect them. So I think we would put on a banger.
No, yeah. I mean, and he wrestles in New York. So even if it's in New York, if someone's from
wherever, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm ready for a fight. Hey, anybody. Everybody's welcome to the block party.
No, definitely. And I mean, there's one more wrestler that me and my dad, like, we're nice to him. He's cool. He's cool outside the ring. But in the ring, he just, like, grinds my gear. His name is Timothy Theory. I don't know.
Tim Theory.
There's something about him. I'm just like, no, I don't like you. Like, I'll talk to you and be nice to you outside. But in the ring, you're going to expect a boo from me. Like, he comes out with his girlfriend. I love his girlfriend. She's so pretty. But, like, their vibe is not for me.
Yeah.
You do what you got to, but you're not gonna get a cheer out of me. Sorry.
I'm sure somewhere down the line, me and Tim is gonna cross paths. We work for the same promotion for ECPW, so I'm sure eventually, somewhere down the line, we'll eventually cross paths. He's a great athlete. Oh my god, that dude is so athletic. Wow. I remember when I first met him, and I seen, I looked at him and I was like, wow. Well, he's a big dude, and I'm like, that's what type of what do you do in the ring and stuff? You know what I mean? And then I searched him up instantly because when I see somebody who catches my eye, it's like, all right, eventually I want to work with you. No, so I searched his stuff up, and I'm like, wow, my man is doing backflips, springboard backflips, flipping over the rope. Like this, he's athletic, and I think Miz will put on a hell of a match.
I mean, and he was trained by Alpha Jr., who runs Battleship. There you go. So I think it'll work. Maybe you'll get on that show. I mean, that's BPW is quite a crazy crowd too. I mean,
I know. I keep a close eye on BPW. I hopefully can have the opportunity, hopefully be fortunate enough to have the opportunity to work there one day for them. Alpha, to me, is one of the all-time greats. I've been able to work a couple shows with him on the same card, and he's genuinely such a nice guy. And I would love to work over there one day. I'm sure if everything aligns and he wants me over there, and I can smooth over the Blockz gimmick to him. Hopefully I can get on there one day.
who knows? You gotta stay hopeful. I mean, like I say all the time, PPW was always my first home because like I got raised there, and that was like the only like promotion back then. But like all these other ones, like they're becoming my home. Like BPW, they have their shows.
Is that their heavyweight title?
Hmm?
Is that their heavyweight title?
I think it was their old one, but
I may have to come down there eventually and win their new one, and bring that old one back.
I mean,
I'm digging that.
yeah, I mean they've been through a lot. They were in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, and then they were in Broadisville, which is where BPW actually is now, and now they're in Slatington, Pennsylvania. So, and that's kind of close to like the Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area, so it shouldn't be that far from you.
Oh, when it comes to wrestling, I'll drive anywhere for it. So
that's kind of how I am.
As long as everything aligns and they like me, and that's pretty much what it is. Because I mean, anywhere I go, I just try to make a presence where I'm a good guy backstage and continue to get booked, because I feel like I'm one of the best guys out. So
yeah,
I want to put that on for the fans. I want the fans to see that too.
No,
I like making the fans go home. Like, this guy, I met a wrestler named Blockz, and he was phenomenal. Like, what, Blockz?
And like that's what I really enjoy about wrestling. Like you meet so many different people, and you get to like with me, I'll be like, hey, like it's hard. Sometimes my dad will be like kicking my ass. He'll be like, go talk to this wrestler and get them on. I'm like, no, I can't. I'm bad at talking. I have anxiety, but it's fine. At the end of the day,
to be honest, we actually like that. So do that. Listen to Dad, because a lot of people have things to say, and there's so many podcasts that are booked, or us wrestlers sometimes don't know how to reach out. Look at me. You asked me to come on as a guest, and I said absolutely. I was excited because I'm still new in this business, and even guys that's not new in this business, we love doing podcasts like this. It gets us to for you to know us, a new fan base to know us, promotion shows, hopefully get on to some Pennsylvania shows, maybe be at PPW.
I mean, majority of the time, the wrestlers are nice. Buddy Thomas, I was like, this bitch, should watch him have some smart ass remark. But he's like, yeah, I guess. Why not?
He was setting you up so that way he could get you on the show and then treat you with the real way he is.
Exactly. And I'm like, that episode, it was my birthday that day. So I'm like, I don't know what got into me that day, but I was like in the heel mode. Everyone knows me as a baby face. But that day, like Buddy Thomas like flipped a switch, and I was like, bro, you are on nerve.
Buddy will do that to you. Buddy makes everybody heel.
No,
and then and then once he walks away from you, you just like shake off the heel, and it's like, all right, I'm good again. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, that side of me just left because he left.
Yeah, right.
He does that to everybody. He steps by me, and I just look at him, and I'm like, I'm angry.
That's how it was when he was on the podcast. Everyone's like, whoa, what is this new Harlem? Like, he changed you. I was like, I don't know what happened, but I was heated that night.
Yeah, buddy will do that to you. He'll get the best out of you.
Definitely. And my dad goes and says, don't be afraid for someone to say no. Just keep moving forward, and there's always someone that'll come on and show love.
Exactly. And trust me, not a lot of guys are going to tell you no, or girls. They're not going to tell you no.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. And my dad,
I've watched a few of your shows already, and I've seen the one with Paulie. I've seen the one with Buddy, which was, I'm not going to lie, those were the only two that I've seen because wait, did you do one with Ricky?
Not yet, no.
Okay, so that was another podcast. Sorry about that. But when Buddy was the one who told me that he was coming on the podcast, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch this. And I was sitting there, and I was like, Buddy. and then I watched all these, and then when you reached out to me, I was like, absolutely, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I messaged Buddy instantly, and I said, hey, Buddy, I'm gonna beat your views on your show.
I mean, majority of the time they come on just as their self. I mean, then there's people that come in character, like Buddy Thomas. It was fine. I guess it's fine.
Oh, that's just Buddy. That's Buddy. He's a nice douche.
Yeah, he's a nice douche sometimes.
Exactly. When he wakes up on the right side of the bed, he's just a nice guy. And that's rarely, but there's some days that he does.
Right. Only sometimes. But my dad has a question, and he goes to this. Do you consider yourself to be a high flyer, technical, bodybuilder, or submission?
I consider myself to be a high flying brawler, if that makes sense. Um, I don't. I love doing technical wrestling. That's one thing that I love. But when the bell rings, something just snaps in me where it's like we lock up. I'm gonna break that. I'm gonna punch you in the face. Like I just want to hit me and let me hit you, and let's let the strongest guy win. And don't get me wrong, I got move sets that make you say, oh wait a minute, like I thought this guy was a brawler. I didn't know he could do stuff like this. But I just like fighting. Everything is just hard, impactful hitting. Every punch means something. Every kick means something. Every suplex means something. So I guess I'm more of brawling. I love high flying, but I'm more of a brawler.
No, yeah.
I want to be. I want to be. I feel like I'm in a Brock Lesnar ish type of fighting field. UFC meets professional wrestling type.
I mean, we got some high flyers out here. We got Action Andretti. We got
Oh,
Keller. They give me trauma. Like, I'm like, yo, y'all are about to hit your head on the roof. And I'm like, I can't. If you get hurt.
I can't high fly like those guys. I mean, I could do a little something. I'm still learning. I hopefully could get there one day. And then maybe we'll be discussing a different how I feel about my style. But
Right?
right now, I'm limited with my arsenal from the air. I mean, it's impactful stuff because I made sure if I hit you with it, there's no kicking out of it. But it's limited. It's kind of basic, you know.
No, yeah.
My biggest high flying move is a cross body. So
No, there you go. And so, like you said, you would love to wrestle everywhere, whether it's WrestleMania, whatever. But is there like a specific dream venue that you have, whether it's like Madison Square Garden?
I think you just nailed it on the money.
I
Like
mean,
being from New York, being in Madison Square Garden when Triple H returned from his injury. I was in the building that day. And the electricity that you feel in Madison Square Garden, I've been to a couple arenas, but just the history and the energy and the vibes in Madison Square Garden, like I know there's a place in New Jersey in Richfield Park called the Mecca, but Madison Square Garden is the Mecca of all places. That's where that's headline. Whenever you think of any big matches, it's happened at Madison Square Garden.
yeah, I haven't been to New York yet, but I've been through it, but not too shallow. It'll happen one day.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You're gonna love it. You're definitely gonna love it. It's probably gonna have the same feel as to be at a show in Pennsylvania. So
I
it's
mean,
gonna be the same. You're gonna be feeling right at home.
yeah. I mean, me and my mom and my friend and her mom, we all just took a girls' trip. So like we were in Rhode Island and Connecticut. I was like, oh my god, look at that! Like usually I'm just like school, work, podcast. That's about it. But like
Yep.
going out of state is like, oh my god, look, there's that. There's a Wawa's. I mean, we got Wawa out here, but like
But
see,
different states, they're different.
exactly, like, oh my gosh, look at that. And I was like, oh my god, there's a tree. And my mom was like, girl, there's trees in Pennsylvania. I'm like, yeah, but that's different.
Yep, that's that. They don't look like this tree.
It doesn't look like our trees. It's a different color tree.
That's hilarious.
It's definitely it's cool going to different places like Pennsylvania and Connecticut. Connecticut was like, the crowd is crazy, but not as crazy as Pennsylvania. So it's cool seeing the differences.
Yeah, I've haven't wrestled in Connecticut, but when I first started out, I actually refereed a show in Connecticut, and it's definitely a different crowd out there. It's definitely more of a calmer crowd, but they haven't seen me out there yet. So hopefully I could turn that around. Everywhere I go, I even if it's just for my match, it's like everybody's got to get rowdy. That's what I feed off of. That's where the adrenaline comes off of.
No, definitely. And I mean, a lot of wrestlers like, I want to wrestle in every state. I want to wrestle everywhere. Me, I'm like, well, I just want to go to a show in every state. Like as a fan or working, like when I'm old enough, that's fine with me. I just want to go every state and see the difference.
I agree. That's definitely. I'd say the same thing. I don't have to be booked on a show if I just want to go and be there, enjoy the atmosphere. Eventually, I'll be on a show one day there, but if I have the chance just to go there to be a part of it, to just watch it and the experience. Heck yeah.
Exactly, because why not? But
Mm-hmm.
you said like a dream venue. So what would you say? Like, has there ever been a venue that you wrestled in and you were like, wow, this is like cool, or like it stand out to you, or they're all different?
Um, I would say in Patterson, New Jersey, we just did a show there not too long ago, and it was in a school gym, so it was like most school gyms. So I mean, there's really nothing you could say that was different than it, but just the way that the school went into their production work for us. Um, we showed up, and normal gyms, we just have the ring and the barricades around us in New York because we have to have that. Um, we showed up there. They had a ramp set up for us. They had a Titantron set up for us. They had pyrotechnics going off in there. They had top of the line production as far as music equipment. Like everything was just top of the line stuff, and it was like, wow, this it made the school gym feel like being in a mini arena. It was crazy. The
Nice.
whole gym was packed. I think we had over 400 people there or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was definitely a mini arena feel to it. It was like, holy shit.
No, and I think that's kind of cool. Like you said, it was in a school gym, and like that's funny because PPW they started in a school gym as well, and now like they work their way up. BPW they're gonna be in a school gym in like I think the same weekend, May 13th,
Okay.
actually. So it's cool. Like they all started in their same way, and then they go on to different things. Like
Yeah, you
at a freaking farmer's market now, which different, but I'm not gonna complain.
no, yeah, absolutely. I wrestled at a fair. It was like a festival fair when I think it was my second match actually. And there was two shows. I got called up and said, "Hey, do you want to come make this show? It's in Mount Vernon, New York. It's at a festival. It was a festival or fair. I can't remember."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Absolutely, yeah. Why not? I'm not doing nothing, and it's a booking. Heck yeah, I'm wrestling. I love it." So I show up, and the ring I see set up in the middle of a basketball court, outdoors in a park. And I'm like, "All right, that's new." I mean, I've only seen that one other time in my life as far as wrestling shows from my personal experience. And I sit in the basketball court. I'm like, all right, so where's the fans at? Because nobody was around. I mean, there was the festival was going on, but nobody was around the ring. People were playing basketball, but nobody's around the ring. So I'm like, we're just gonna be wrestling and nobody's gonna be looking. All right, whatever. I'm here, so let's go. We go, set up, get dressed. Show starts. The minute the bell rings for the first match, literally everybody that was doing something turned around and just put their attention, yep, right towards the ring.
Be like, I mean,
That was the most people I think I've ever performed in front of. Still to this day, I want to say, not kidding, we had to almost reach 1,000 people in that park. That whole park just went right to the ring. It was great. We had a kid dressed up as Spider-Man in the crowd who jumped on the ring, who was trying to get involved with matches.
oh my gosh,
It was wild. It was wild. It was fun, but it was wild.
that's crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, and there's some shows out here that they don't have like the barricade. So I'm like, y'all, if y'all land on my lap, I swear to God, I'm gonna sue your ass. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, we didn't even have barricades. We had barricades. I'm not gonna lie, because we were in New York, so we have to have barricades. But they weren't the typical steel barricades for that show. It was ones that we provided from the staff, and they were like those yellow, like ones that you can like fold in and then fold back out. So, needless to say, by the second match, which I think was my match, they were already broken.
Thank gosh.
Yeah, the crowd was a little restless that day.
Oh,
It was fun though. It was fun. I've never performed in front of a crowd like that. They were something. They were definitely rowdy, and it was great.
no, definitely. But my dad says definitely got to get you at PPW.
Absolutely, cops.
We're
I
gonna.
think so.
I mean, and their show is May 20th, so maybe we'll be like, yo, there's this
I
wrestler.
actually booked that day on May
But
20th.
for the next shows, we'll be like,
For the
we'll,
next show, absolutely, 100%.
we'll be like,
100%.
we'll be pulling some strings. We'll be like, so there's this guy, and we gave him a match, so you could book him against Rembrandt. That's fine. We'll just be honored to be there.
I'm down. I'll be there. I'll be ready. Show the PPW Nation why Blockz is here. Blockz
Right?
is going to show up. Hopefully, we can make that work out. That'd be great.
You
I
know,
would so look forward to that.
exactly. We'll
Not
pull
even,
some strings and then
I'm ready for that. We got to
right?
get in contact with them. Let's go. Let's do this.
No, definitely. And so, how would you say, like, how do you come up with your gear? Like the theme, the colors.
Black and red has just always been something that I've always loved. I've always loved the color red, and black was just I don't know. Black just it just went together. Like
Yeah.
I've seen so many other colors. Like I have new gear that's coming out in the works that's more a little bit more brighter because I do hold my hold pride in where I'm from, which is Puerto Rico. So I'm having gear made with red, white, and blue for more of my heritage.
Yeah.
And I'm also in a group called the Taino Warriors. So that I want to show pride in where I come from. But this is my normal. What's going to be my normal gear when I'm not with them, black and red,
Yeah.
and it's just always been. It's been cool together. The ideas I get from. I think of something in my mind, and then I try to put it on some paper or put it on the computer, and just run with ideas back and forth, and until I get the right image, and then say, you know what, I can see myself wearing that, so I can see somebody else buying that to wear that.
Exactly. And my dad pointed out, he goes, Rembrandt also travels from New York to PA, which he's
Hey,
mainly in New York. The only show I think he works in PA is PPW at right now, but he got a lot of potential. That'll be a good match. But then he goes and says,
we'll work from Pennsylvania to New York and New York to Pennsylvania.
exactly. He said black, and that's what I was going to point out. My dad, he's also black and red are his colors, but
I'm about to make Dad pop. Hold on. Sorry, I'm still here, but I gotta make Dad pop because he mentioned it, and I know you seen what he mentioned. Just for Dad. Just for Dad. The Joker gloves.
it's cool. It's different. I like it. I mean, and everyone's always pointing out, Harley, your name's Harley. Or did they name you because of Harley Quinn? I'm like, I don't know. Ask my it's either like Harley Quinn or Harley Davidson. I'm like, guys, I don't know. Just ask my parents, okay?
It says my dad is a fan of professional wrestling. I'm named it after Harley Race.
Right? I don't know.
You come from greatness.
Exactly.
Look at that. We never turn off the gimmick.
Never. He goes, he needs those.
I'm gonna be having these on hopefully for sale soon too. I mean, you could get them, but I'm gonna have my own edition of these soon. So they're sick. I seen them, and I had black and red gloves before, and then I seen these, and I was like, that's it. What can people remember me by? And this has been working. A lot of people have been reaching out about my gloves.
There you go. So, do you think it's going to be like, for you personally, do you think it's going to be an age thing or like an injury thing that makes you retire or like calls it quits?
I'm praying it's probably going to be an age thing because, I mean, I pray that I don't get injured. I mean, this business, things happen. But I want to be Ric Flair, I want to be 70 years old having my last match in a bunch of different promotions. Every match is my last match. And just having fun, just being able to do this until literally I can't do it no more. I mean, even if I come through, something happens, God forbid, and the injury occurs, I'm still going to fight back and to get back no matter what. Yeah. I would have to lose an arm, leg, something where they say, all right, you definitely can never wrestle again. But yeah, it's gonna be old when I'm in a walker. That's when I'll probably, and even with a walker, I'll still be walking down to the ring in a walker, doing something. Probably a manager then.
Right? And that's like something we would always joke about. We're like, because a lot of wrestlers be like, I'll do it forever. I'm like, okay. And then you'll just be coming down with the walker, be like, I'll be there in a couple minutes. Just give me a second. It'll work, I guess.
Exactly. WrestleMania, I'll be like leading whoever it is. Don't worry, I'll be there by the end of the match.
Right. So with that being said, even after, like, if it's an age thing, do you think like you'll still be involved somehow, whether it's like training or commentary or being a manager, whatever?
Oh, absolutely. I plan one day to open. I pray that I'm able and fortunate enough to be able to open up a wrestling school one day. To give back to everything that I'm getting so far and whatever I'm going to get in the future with this business. I feel like that's what I was put here for, to get myself to that level and give back in this business because I love it so much. Everything that's ever happened in my life, I've always had professional wrestling to lean on for anything, whether I was sad, happy, any emotion that I've ever had. Wrestling has always been there for me, and if I can give that back in any way, then I will love that. So I'm definitely going to be involved some way when my days are over.
No, definitely. And I think we need more schools because in Pennsylvania, I think the only school we really have is BPW. They have their school. PPW had a school. Hopefully that comes back in the works because PPW is closer while BPW is like an hour away. But, wrestling's worth the travel. Like my dad will be like, do we have any shows this week? And I'm like, yeah or no. Like he doesn't even know. He's like, Harley, do we have any plans? I'm like, yeah, we got this show. This is where we're gonna be. This is what time we gotta be there. He's like, okay.
So we'll get along very well. That's dope.
Exactly. So my dad goes and says, he's like, I've done backyard wrestling before in New York City and KWF Carnage years ago. And he says, I'm too fluffy to wrestle now.
You can never be. Have you seen check Big Bad Blake and then you'll think different? That's one big dude.
No, definitely.
That's awesome. That's how I started as well, backyard wrestling, to be honest. Everybody, I mean, I've only told this to maybe a few other people. I want to say not even 3 people who've known this, but when I first started wrestling for the love of wrestling, it was in middle school. And I used to go with my friends after school. We used to all meet up in the playground, and everybody used to say, who you're going to be today? What wrestler you're going to be? I always wanted to be Jeff Hardy. That was my guy because he was Mr. Swanton, Team Extreme.
And that's another one of my dad's favorite. I mean, I swear to God, y'all probably know each other outside of
That's dope.
You'll be in person, you'll be like, oh my God, I remember you. I'm like,
that's funny. Yeah, that was one of my guys growing up, Jeff Hardy. So I used to go to playgrounds, go on top of the swing while my friend was laying there and hit the pose and then just swanton right off the swing set. No. So it was always meant to be. It's just I'm a late starter. So that's why I got to make a bang quick.
Exactly. I mean, you got lots of time.
Oh, yeah.
But my dad says, have you ever had any injuries that made you think twice about still putting on a show?
Yes. I'm actually still dealing with this groin injury that I've been having, I want to say since like my 3rd month in of from my 3rd month from debuting in. It limits my mobility sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't even bother me, but sometimes I could do something and land wrong, and it's just like, oh man, all right, I gotta fight through this match because now I don't want it to look like I'm hurt because I want to still we have a match we got to do. I don't want it to end at the end of the day. I know I'm just injured. I'm not hurt. If I wasn't able to keep performing, I would let them know, oh, I can't. There's nothing I do, but things happen. So I just try to make sure my best to be safe with what I do and careful, even though I'm still jumping and flying everywhere. But definitely my groin injury has definitely made it to where I've woken up and said, I don't think it's a good idea to go to this show today because I am feeling like crap. And then I show up to the show and the adrenaline kicks in, everything's fine. And
then you feel it later, be like, oh man, that shit hurts.
Yeah, it's like, what did I do? I stretch sometimes and there's a popping feeling that I feel that's not normal. So yeah, that's something that I keep a lookout on because that's something that shouldn't be happening. But that's about it. That's probably the biggest injury that I've dealt with so far. That's just been nagging. and because groin injuries, they if you don't rest and heal up on it, it just takes forever to heal.
No, yeah. And another question that I have is I don't know if I don't know if you guys have that type of matches in New York, but here in Pennsylvania we have intergender matches. How do you feel about those?
I love that. I love that. I hope to face actually a few women wrestlers out there because I don't look at my opponent as male or female. At the end of the day, you're an opponent. We stepped into this business. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be in the ring with the best, and just sometimes the best is a woman, sometimes the best is a man, and there's a lot of female wrestlers out there that are definitely on my radar because I come for the best for everybody.
No, I mean, we got some badass girls out here. I
There's
mean,
some
in New York,
badass girls out there.
I mean, in New York, we got Cosmic. I love her like with my entire soul. Out
Yep.
here, we got Adina Steele. We got Izzy McCoy. She got she eliminated. She was just in a match like last weekend at AXW. She was in a Royal Rumble. She was the only female and got a bunch of men out. I was like,
That's fire.
you tell them.
That's fire. That's fire. I'm a part of a promotion called Titan Championship Wrestling, and they're doing a 200 person Rumble,
Wow.
and it's an intergendered Rumble. So you're gonna have the women in there with the men. We have a brand called Goddesses of Wrestling, and they're every single member on that roster is in the Rumble. So that's a full roster of ladies that's gonna be in a Rumble with a bunch of 200. It's 200 and a third of them are going to be female, so that's amazing right there and alone, and that's not even including who may be brought in still.
I mean, that's probably gonna be the show. I'll be like, Dad, we're making the drive.
That's going to be a wild one. That idea is just crazy. All the top tier athletes in one Rumble. That's wild.
I mean, we've had like 30 people Rumble. We had like 25. We had 10. We had 7. But like 200.
No, yeah, it's crazy. I think the most ever was 70, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the most ever. That's the record.
Wow.
So they're definitely on a different level with this one. There's going to be a lot that's going to go into that, but I believe it's going to be a successful event. 200 wrestlers. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a chance, one, to be a part of history, independent wrestling history. We're trying to get it on Guinness Book of Records history. We got to see about that still. But I mean, as of now, they don't like the idea because they don't consider independent wrestling professional wrestling, which is a whole nother story. But it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. Like something is gonna be spectacular. You're gonna have, just imagine you have 5 men versus 5 female wrestlers in a Rumble at a time going at it against each other. That's wild.
No, I mean, definitely. And like what you just said is like, that's kind of a controversial thing. Like people are like, wrestling is fake. Like, don't put, bro, that is something like I am super passionate about. Like Rembrandt and PPW, there's a whole storyline with him. Like he had the title and then he lost it and like he didn't get his rematch. But like that and people saying wrestling is fake, I'm like, bro, those grind my gears. I'll go on a rant for hours. Be like, no. But if you say wrestling's fake, how come they actually get injured?
No, it's true. It's true. Professional wrestling
I don't think
is 100% real. I do it. It's real. I'm dealing with injuries now. I'm not hurt to where I can't keep performing, but we put our bodies on the line out there. I've seen a female wrestler from performing, have a seizure in the ring, and this is we do things with safety in mind, but knowing that any moment something could go wrong. Thank God she's okay, and she winded up finding out because of it. A lot of things that she's taking care of now with her health, and she's going to be on the independent scene real soon. Tiffany Avatar, keep a lookout for her. She's going to be everywhere. But it was a scary thing to see. So definitely, I let anybody know. You think these shots are fake? Step up, and I'll show you for real how real these shots are. Real quick story about that. I'm not going to mention any names because I don't want to get anybody mad. But I was a part of this, so I'll say it. So I'm talking to some fan in a bar, and The fan says, getting smacked in wrestling is real. And I looked at him and I said, absolutely it is. I said, what do you think? We it's fake? He said, no, it can't be real. I said, all right. I looked at a fellow wrestler and I said, smack me. He said, what? I said, smack me like if we're in a match. He smacked me. The guy said, are you serious? Was that real? I said, do you want to feel it? He said, yeah. He actually said, yeah. I was like, you gotta be serious. You can't be serious.
And then he'll be crying after, be like, "Oh my god, you hit me."
Nope, he took it like a champ. It did happen, but he took it like a champ, and needless to say, he at the end of it looked at us and said, "I have a newfound respect for you guys." And I told him, I was like, you know what? It was more of one of those. We was all in fun and love, but it was more of those like, you know, we take this serious. We really put our lives out there. Like we can get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why I'm so passionate about it. Like as a fan right now and like doing the podcast and getting to know the wrestlers. Like and once I get my ass in there and like actually doing it and being a manager, I'm like, bro, I'll go on a rant. If you say that shit's fake, no.
No,
Like
yeah, absolutely.
injuries aren't fake. Them putting all their time and dedication into it, that ain't fake. That's like real shit.
Oh, yeah. I always say wrestling is real, reality is fake, because you know a lot more fake people in the world than you do in wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, and that's why I say it all the time. Respect to all you guys, but you're not gonna see me in that ring. I'm not gonna get smacked. I'll be a manager. That's fine.
Hey, still a part of the business. That's big parts. I always said that. I'm gonna be a part of this business somehow, whether it's a wrestler, manager, referee, cameraman. Somehow I'm gonna be in this business somehow. So if Blockz isn't on WWE wrestling, you may see me as a referee, you may see me as a manager, but I'm gonna get there.
Exactly.
I'll have a match one day in there, even if it's only one, but I'll be doing something.
Right? Exactly. Even if it's a security guard, because I think that's another big thing. Like a lot of indie wrestlers go on to like the shows, whether it's like AEW or WWE as like security guards, but like they get their TV time and they'll be on them.
No, absolutely. I mean that's how a lot of guys got their start.
Yeah.
It works out for some, doesn't work out for others. I would love to do that, to be honest, because I would love to just have that a part of my journey, because I plan on getting there one day. I mean, I'm going to be relentless enough to get there and push myself to get there. But to say, look at what I've gotten from a security guard as an extra to actually being on this show. So I always, and if anybody wants to reach out to me and tell me how to do that to get on those shows as a security guard, you know, my DMs are always open. Get me on there.
There you go. So another big thing is, like we said, the intergender wrestling. How do you feel about like hardcore matches like BPW had, like fans bring the weapon? How do you feel like that crazy type matches?
Those are my sleeves. I love that brawling style. I've already had 3 or 4 street fights already in my career. And it was just weapons used the whole time, so that's just right up my alley. I have another promotion I'm working with that there's a title that they have over there that's a hardcore title that I may have my eyes on. I'm sure you're familiar with the name of Face, possibly, right? The Faceless Ones. No, you gotta check him out. He's badass. He's done a couple shows in Pennsylvania. He was part of the stable with Jay Bougie and PJ Savage and Jocko. They were the Takeover, and so Face right now is their champion, and he's badass. I would love to be in the ring with him. So we'll see. One day, maybe.
Exactly. One day. So then, obviously, towards the end, my question is that we kind of know already, but do you have merch? And if so, where can people purchase it?
So I do have merch. A lot of my, I have it on a website called bonfire.com, which you can find in my Instagram and on my Facebook, the links to it on my link tree. And I also at every event have my own merch that like this you can't really get online. This is personal. You come to the shows is the only way you can get them. My merch 100% is made by myself. So yeah, you can find it on me at the shows. I'll have my merch every show. Soon to be having the gloves with me, some arm sleeves, some block arm sleeves. I may get into business of selling Legos if I can get sponsored by Legos.
Right, and then just autograph the Legos. It's cool.
Exactly.
So
Your Legos.
you said you have May 13th show coming up. Other than that, what are some other shows you have?
All right. So before the May 13th show, May 5th and 6th, ECPW is having 2 shows. This weekend in New Jersey. So I'll be at both of those, Friday and Saturday. May 13th, you'll catch me over at the High Ground show in Pennsylvania. May 20th, I'm over in, I don't want to get this wrong because it's for Titan Champion, right? Oh, in Aberdeen Township in New Jersey for Rise of the Titans for Titan Championship Wrestling. That is a big show. And like that's a big arena, big arena. I think the limit is like close to 800-900 people capacity, possibly more, and they're bringing in stars for that show, like crazy. Then we have May 21st. IWA has a new show that we're doing at a new place in New Jersey as well. It's a Spanish restaurant. It's going to be a cool feel to that one.
Oh, okay.
All of May. I'm trying to pull it up because I don't want to get the dates wrong. I don't want to get any promoters upset. You know what I mean? Because I've posted this link to there, to promote for everybody. Because I'm on a couple shows for May. Quite a bit of places. It's great. I'm having fun. I love it. I'm doing well enough to where everybody's liking it, and I just want to keep going out there and performing. I don't like no drama. I'm just put me in the ring and let's fight. Let me make you some money so that way I can get made some money.
Right? There you go. 1 for 1. There you go. But lastly, where can people find you on social media?
So you can find me on Instagram and Facebook, TikTok under Blockz is Back. On YouTube, it's Blockz is Back as well. I have almost all my matches on my YouTube. Maybe not every single one. I think I'm missing I'm missing quite a bit, but yeah, that's where you can find me. I'm only on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Blockz is Back on all of them.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I was more talkative tonight than I have been because I think I'm getting into the gif of just being me on the podcast, which is cool. It's fine, but thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully,
thank you for having me. I appreciate that. Definitely a fun podcast. Hopefully, the next time I'm on, I have that viral title of buddies right here. Exactly. But thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh yeah, and hopefully
you don't get these views past theirs. Watch.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that. Hopefully your views just shoot up there and be like, sorry, buddy. Sorry, Playboy Polly.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
But thank you so much, and I hope you all enjoy your night. Bye.
Absolutely. Have fun, y'all.